Wow, it's time for another show full of tips and ideas from the sales growth leadership expert, Dean Akers. Known for his experience in hyper-growing companies and creating cultures for high-performance teams, here's Dean.
Well, welcome to the Sales and Leadership Ninja Show. I'm your head ninja, Dean Akers, bringing you a weekly rant on something to help you in either sales and or leadership. In sales, we're going to talk about something today. Again, most of my rants come from something that's happened in the previous weeks. And working with all the sales folks I'm working with around the Tampa Bay area, I have about 80 of them I really help out a lot. And they're all, some are real ninjas today and some are becoming ninjas. And one of the common denominators that's frustrating to most everyone is time. And I equate it to the spinning plates. When you see the spinning plates, you'll see that it reminds me back into the Captain Kangaroo days when we used to have a show where Captain came on and he would start spinning these plates. And he'd put them on these little points and they'd spin up and you'd get 10 or 15 plates going. And while they're talking, one of the plates on the end would start wobbling. They'd run down and have to spin it up. And then they'd look and down the other end, plates would be wobbling again. And then they would run back and they would spin them again. And it was just a constant, every 5 seconds running around, spinning up a different set of plates. So how does that play into today working in sales and spinning plates? Well, there's a couple things, and I'm going to talk about 4 major things with subsets to it. One is we know we have to go out and work our current clients. So most sales get in the trap of, I don't have time because I got to work and service my current customers. We got that. You got to do that. But what we're talking about, when you really learn how to do the spinning plates in sales, it helps increase your production, your income, your results, and your self-satisfaction. So working and servicing your current customers, that goes without saying. Second plate that spins that most people don't really pay attention to, it starts wobbling, next thing you know it falls, is prospecting. And in prospecting, you'll periodically see salespeople go, well, I got to go prospecting. So they randomly just go out prospecting, or they consider networking events prospecting. And at the end of the day, they get very little results. Today, I want to share with you, when you're spinning the plates, when you prospect, you want to target whom you're going after. You know what the DNA looks like in your regular customers. Go after the clients that look like those customers and create customer value models. So if you have one customer doing 10 million with you and another customer's twice their size, they should be able to do 20 million with you. So go after them, put them in a value, then build out a critical path for prospecting. That creates an allotment every day and every week to work towards achieving success with getting this client to become your client. And it's the things like going and finally meeting them, being 3 to 5 people deep that know you and you know them. The little touches we do to make sure that potential client is getting to know you and building the relationships. So we're spinning the wheels. We got the one that we're spinning up for our current customers. The second plate is prospecting. We know we got to do a couple of different plates there. We got to make sure our CVs are going, our touches are going, and such as that. The third plate that spins up, and this one's a difficult one. A lot of people go in and out of it, and it's managing your brand. And people go, well, we have advertising and marketing people that manage our brand. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about your brand as a salesperson or a sales rep in a company. And your brand looks like your social media. How are you managing your social media? Are you using it every day for a few minutes to put posts? Are you making relevant posts? Are you reposting relevant stuff from potential customers and or influencers in your marketplace that can also help you? So you want to make sure your social media program is outlined and you're literally doing it every day or certainly every 2 days. That means making sure you have a strong LinkedIn account. Make sure you're doing Instagram. Make sure you're doing Facebook. And make sure you're doing other things that are social brand driven, which could be your company's brand posting to it, or sharing stuff off your customer brand. You also want to set your own website up. Go ahead and get your own domain name. I got deanakers.com and I got www.deanakers.com. Today, with outsourcing, you can get a website that tells people who you are and what you're all about. Again, you're working for a company, but the brand of you is an extension of that company, and people will be doing business with you. So make sure you're managing your brand with your social media. It's not bad to have your own website, even if you're working for a company. You can brand your website with them. Then next, are you doing mail blasts? Are you creating touches that go out to your customers in emails and stuff that are very informative? Checking your open rates. I've got one of my ninjas getting 30%, 35% open rates because he always sends out relevant information that customers appreciate. Podcasting, great tool today. Go ahead and set yourself up a podcast. That's what we're doing today. That's what you're listening to today. It's very easy. By the way, if you need any of this information, you can always reach out to me at help@adjunctceo.com. That's help@adjunctceo.com, and just say, hey, Dean, can you give me some tips on podcasting? Can you give me some tips on social media? Can you give me some tips on setting that website up? I will be glad to help you. And then also unique touches. I've shared with y'all one of my biggest unique touches is books. I have all kinds of books. I get these books for selling. This is a book for a potential client that wants to go to the Netherlands. Find the different stuff. Find the things that are of interest. And when you get them, send them a book with a touch or send them a card during a holiday. My ninjas send out 4th of July cards. How many of you listening today took the time to send your top 100 prospects and current customers wishing them a happy 4th of July? Awesome opportunity. We've got some coming up. Labor Day, another big one. So you're managing your own brand. And then lastly, managing your relationships within your company. When you're in sales, remember, and I don't want anybody that's listening today get all uppity and go, oh, well, it's not that way in my company. When you're in outside sales or in sales, most of the people in operations and the people around almost feel like you're entitled. Now, you can sit there and say, but I work hard, I do all this. We all know, especially if we're in outside sales, that we have flexibility of time. We control our schedules by and large. We're responsible for our results too, but we are kind of an elite group in a company. And get over not thinking people don't think that. So they will feel like we're entitled. Okay, great. How do you master that if you're spinning the plates? Treat your team members with dignity. You do unique touches on them. Be appreciative of them. Not just say thank you in the hallway. Do special things. Go out of your way to remember that your team members are your support function and they care about you. But remember, people want to know you care about them more before they can care about you. So if you're in sales and you're spinning the plates, one of the things is you're going to have to work the members in your company. It could be the shipping people. It could be the accounting people, whomever it is. Please understand, it is important. It's so important. So let's review. We're spinning these plates. Remember, they'll start wobbling. And this is the key in sales. You got to keep spinning all of them. You got to spin them every day. So one of the plates is you're working on and servicing your current clients. Number 2, you're prospecting. You're working targeted customers. You're doing the special touches and building the depth and going by to see them so that they want to do business with you. You are building a relationship. It may only take 10 minutes a day to write a handwritten note. It may only take a few minutes a day on your way to one of your customers to just pull in and say hello. It may only take a few minutes a day to create those unique touches and always work in that critical path. You look at the critical path on building the depth in these prospecting type targeted customers. Then thirdly, you got to manage your brand. Just remember, manage that brand. Make sure you're doing your social media posts. Make sure you're relevant. Make sure that you're doing your blasts. I'd suggest starting a podcast on something that's generic to your industry, that will help customers if they want to listen, and then following up with your very unique touches, whether they're books, cards, any number of things. One of my ninjas recently, two of them actually recently, just did a cool, unique touch during the 4th of July. They took 4th of July red, white, and blue ice pops to their big prospected customers. Yeah, you heard me right, ice pops. I was like blown away how cool of thinking that was and how ninja-like that was to think of dropping off and going in with frozen ice pops, red, white, and blue, wishing your potential customer, hey, hope you and your team have a great 4th of July. Here's some fun thing, red, white, and blue ice pops. I thought it was epic. That's the kind of stuff to do, the unique touches. And then lastly, manage those relationships in your company. Make sure that when those people are sitting at the dinner table talking to their wives or their husbands, they're saying, man, I get to work with Dean. He's in sales. He's such an awesome ninja. He really brings business to our company, but more importantly, he knows how to treat all of us. So, you know the 4 things. It's like spinning plates on a pole. And if you've ever watched the old Captain Kangaroo days, you can remember when they would start wobbling, Mr. Green Jeans would run out and spin them up. So let's get those plates spinning and keep all 4 going to have successful sales career. This is your head ninja, Dean Akers, for the Sales and Leadership Ninja Show. We'll see you next week.
We hope you enjoyed this week's show. Subscribe today to our podcast and send questions or thoughts to help@deanakers.com. Also, visit us at www.deanakers.com to listen to prior shows and view helpful videos. Also, great tips to download. Thanks again. See you next week.